Okay. I've
Yeah.
started the recording on that. Do you want to just count us in for the...
Do you want to finish your banana first?
I don't know, maybe.
Do you want to finish that banana, or we're just gonna do this live? Fucking. God damn it!
No, go with the intro. Good.
We're gonna do it live. We're banana.
Yeah, all you gotta do is just talk to me and it's fine, I'll react. You're good.
Fuck you.
No, come on. Let me do it.
All right, so
Mm-hmm.
we watched Unleashed last episode with Kate McCucci. Today we're watching Unleashed, and this is actually not. This is not even the second Unleashed movie we watched, and I'm very confused about this trilogy. So how does Scooby-Doo
Yeah, I
Monsters
don't know.
Unleashed fit into this? I don't like.
I'm thinking it's gotta be the third one, right?
It's gotta be the third, yeah.
Well, there was a monster unleashed in this one.
Sure.
It was
Was
Bob
it Bob
Hoskins.
Hoskins?
He kept on getting unleashed from car accidents. His soul would unleash from his body and then just leash back in somehow.
Oh man! Welcome to Rough Cuts, everyone. That's a good banana you're eating.
That was a
right
good
there,
banana.
Huh? That was a good banana. All right. Fuck.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
So let me work this through one more time. I don't pay you. You take his collar off.
Correct, Mondo.
You take his collar off, he beats us all to death.
My body!
So it's in my best interest to keep that collar on. When you're finished with the master, kill the dog.
Who's there? I fed you, I trained you, I decide when there's no more killing.
No, he's gonna kill it!
You're my dog.
Son of a bitch.
It's not going to make a good audio podcast for you to just constantly shake your head at me. People have to understand your disappointment with me in an audio format. So, express your disappointment.
Welcome to Rough Cuts. This is our banana eating ASMR podcast where we watch movies with dogs in them, and they're good boys and bad films, and then we rate the dogs at the end. That way you don't have to watch the movie, but you get the same experience.
I'm definitely not now moving a chair into the
I'm Voice. This is my incredibly prepared co-host, Ilion.
Listen, bananas, chairs, who needs them? It's all. I'll get it when we're live. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm sure this will work out great for the podcast. You've got this one, right? You're editing?
Sure. Last episode, we watched Unleashed with Kate McCucci. We were joking about watching Unleashed with Jet Li, and here we are watching Unleashed, the unrated cut. And boy, was it unrated, because I don't know what the fuck you would do with this movie.
What would you rate it as? I think that I would rate one half of the movie as PG. I'd rate the other half of the movie as R.
Yes, it's 2 movies. 3 movies, maybe.
It's kind of 3, yeah. Bob Hoskins is definitely in a different movie than Morgan Freeman.
Yes. Every time Morgan Freeman's on screen, it is a different film.
Morgan 100%. Freeman talks and he's like, there's something scary. Butts. That's his swears, oh gosh darn, oh no. And then Bob Hoskins comes on and he goes, you fucking wankers! Cut your fucking balls off, you fucking assholes! And you're like, this is
swearing up a storm.
A wildly swinging movie.
God, this is a roller coaster of emotions.
Uh-huh.
And then after the Bob Hoskins swearing up a storm with his normal, regular British accent, and after Morgan Freeman doing a Morgan Freeman scene, which has nothing to do with the rest of the movie, we get a Jet Li scene doing kung fu, which has nothing to do with the other 2 scenes.
It's tangentially related to the Bob Hoskins stuff, kind
Man,
of.
there's so much about this movie that reminds me of a video game, especially the PS2 era. If you played any of the
Yeah.
PS2 era action games, it's so much that.
Well, it's also the thing that I had a bit of a difference of opinion on you with that, or at least like I feel like another
Mhm.
really good example of that is because it was in all of the media in early 2000s. Like you
Uh-huh.
had, it was that edgy, it's a super edgy teen thing, but it very much reminds me of like the movies of the time, and in particular, things like Underworld
Underworld for
and
sure. Van
like
Helsing.
Van Helsing, like all those really, really edgy action films. Like honestly, The One, which is also a Jet
Mhm.
Li movie, like it's super that stuff. It is 110%. It's got like a more than a little bit of Leon the Professional in it, and like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Also,
It also kind of reminds me of like a Chow Yun Fat movie in a
hmm
way, like not Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but
no,
the later ones where it's like Chow Yun Fat with a bunch of white people.
yeah, oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like you know what I'm talking about.
hmm And I mean, the Leon the Professional ties are the fact that Luc Besson wrote and executive produced this one, and obviously
Mhm.
Luc Besson is the director of Leon the Professional,
It's
so
also
it's
the writer of
very,
Taken, I think the Taken
yeah,
series. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I
yeah.
think so.
That's God. What a weird movie this is. So how do we justify watching this Unleashed, Ilion?
Well, Jet Li's a good boy. He's a dog.
He's a dog. His name is literally Danny the dog.
And to elaborate on this, we have Bob Hoskins here talking about how Danny's a dog.
You basically turned a man into a dog.
Danny, you're a dog.
But also, he goes on a speech in the movie about it, but what it is he like raises Danny to be an attack dog. He puts a collar
Hmm.
on him, he calls him a dog, he like they do everything but have him go into a cage on all fours and
And
have Oz
bark.
Perkins lead him around on a leash through the city
Well,
wearing Hawaiian t-shirts.
that would be perverted.
I think George is getting a chubby. You shut up, Lefty. You're the one getting a fucking hard on, not me.
It would have been a way better
You can't have Jet
I
Li on
wanted
a.
to see it, though.
You can have Jet Li in a dog collar on a leash being led around. Oh no, they did that in Quigley.
movie. Yeah, sure did.
Not with Jet Li. God, could you imagine Quigley with Jet Li?
I would love to see Quigley's Jet Li. Jet Li's Quigley.
Quigley's Jet Li.
Yes.
Jet Li's Quigley. Wait a minute.
The crossovers we didn't know that we deserved.
I mean, so the Quigley director follows us on Twitter. We should ask him to make a Jet Li movie.
God. Yeah, I'm sure that Jet Li will just hop for the chance.
Gary Busey,
Jet Li.
Christopher Atkins, and Oz Perkins.
His name is Quigley, and he's my very best friend.
That's quite a dog you've got there. Thank you.
Quigley.
Oh man. Okay, we've got off the rails already.
Yes, we have.
This is like a classic story of like someone holding power over someone, them gaining independence and then fighting back. It's like the most basic story. But the way it's told,
I was gonna say, if you consider that story is told through leashing Jet Li into your basement and
yeah.
telling him bark bark all the time you're a
Bark,
dog,
bark,
then
bark.
yes. Yep, it's certainly basic. It, like you said, it's a very basic revenge kind of like independence story. Learn to love family and not be violent thing.
It's a
But
family movie. It's about family,
it's
really,
about
when you think about
family,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
We got to think of you as family.
But there's that, but there's so much weird shit that just
Yes.
happens.
Well,
Because
this is a Luc Besson family movie is why. Like that's really what it felt like. I was like,
like-
okay, yeah, no, like
yeah.
you can feel that Luc Besson oozing out of every pore of this thing.
And it's so wild how much this has in common with Air Bud. It's not fair.
Yes.
It's not fair.
They do have a scene where Bob Hoskins goes like, "Come to me, Danny.
Come on, boy.
Come on, buddy. Come here, buddy. Look, I got you a treat. If you come to me, I'm gonna get you some good treaties."
And then Danny's new family is on the other side going, "No, Danny. No,
no.
They do an Airbud scene with Jet
They
Li.
do. They
Fucking
definitely
Christ.
Airbud Jet Li. There's nothing that says that Airbud can't kung fu kick a man out a window.
God.
Okay, listen, how much better would it be if they actually just hold up, if they just replace Jet Li with Airbud? This
No,
movie
we
goes
were
up how
joking
many
about
notches?
the new Airbud movie where Airbud has the greatest sport of all, mankind.
Hunting
And
man.
hunting mankind. That's this film. It's Airbud with kung fu that hunts mankind. That's the film. We made this is the movie.
This movie is fucking weird. I think I like it in a way, but also, man, this movie. So it starts out with Bob Hoskins. Well, it starts in media res with Jet Li just beating the shit out of guys, actually.
It does. Yeah.
And then Bob Hoskins goes, "See, when you don't pay, the collar comes off. Right. Go,
Right.
cup of tea."
I'll kick you in the bollocks again if you don't pay me on time.
Yeah.
Oi,
Okay.
back in the car. Fucking beast.
Fucking wanker.
Fuck. God damn it.
And he's trained Danny Jet Li to be this attack dog where he has a collar on him and then he uses him for collections because he's some crime.
He's like some
he's crime man.
mob collector. Yeah.
He's a loan shark of some kind.
That
I
first
guess.
fight scene's really funny because it's in a ball pit factory
It sure is, yeah.
with inflatable like tubes that people take to the pool and
Yeah, it's got like dinghies and pool toys and all these things, and Jet Li's just attack.
everybody
dogging
Jet Li
people
is
in it
kicking is falling on these soft like rubber balls and
into ball pits.
yeah.
And then he snaps their arm in 7 places, anyways. So
It's kind
like,
of
it
just
does
like
get very
Dash
violent.
Con.
I mean, looks about as fun as their ball pit.
Yeah. But okay, so as they're driving back from the ball pit factory to was it an antique store they're going to right away? But
Yes, yeah.
yeah, the point is they're driving back. No, because they go to the jeweler.
They'll go to
first.
the jewelry first because that's kind of an inciting incident.
On that drive over, Bob Hoskins is telling the story about how he banged some chick this one time in his dreams at a hula bar.
Bob Hoskins is the worst fucking crime boss in this. Like, oh
And-
my god,
yeah.
he's sitting there and his subordinates are like, oh god, like doing like the parasite meme of
Oh,
like they're
God.
driving him and he's in the back
Yep.
and they're just like doing the grumpy face and he's just like, so I had this dream last night and they're like, ah, fuck, no, not
Yeah.
again, because every time they're in the car he does a dream conversation.
I had a dream last night.
And they're both arguing about like who got a chub listening to his dream
Oh god,
that he's talking about and who didn't. No, you got a chub. No, your dick
it's
was
so
hard.
filthy.
It's like what is going on? And
Well, and
Danny's
then Bob
just in there
Hoskins is
looking out the
immediately like,
window.
yeah, you're the hard one. Anyways, my dream ended with all of the ladies that I was smooching getting blown to bloody pieces. I have no idea if this is related to anything in my life.
Is it
Anyways, let's go
related
do
to
some
anything?
incredible, horrible
Yeah.
violence to people, which is definitely not affecting my dreams. Can't understand why I can't sleep. Anyways, off we go.
because he's just taking Danny place to place collecting. He stops by a jewelry store,
Mhm.
goes to the back room, and is like, "All right, pay me. How about we kick your ass instead?" Shit, I didn't think about this. Fuck.
Yeah, because he's
Shit.
like, oh, when the collar comes off and you'll be in trouble. And they're like, so we just stop you from reaching the guy's collar and we get to beat the shit out of you and he does nothing? He's like,
Oh
"Hey,
yeah.
I didn't think about this very well." And so then they grab Bob Hoskins and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of him, and then somebody accidentally removes his collar. I think.
No. Bob Hoskins does a kung fu.
Oh,
He
right,
like
he
grabs
grabs
a
the- he grabs the
tonfa and like
tonfa
starts
and fucking
beating
kung
some
fus
fucking
them.
people. Yeah.
And the whole time he's like,
Bob
"I'm
Hoskins
Mario,
does a minor
bitch.
kung fu.
I'm
Yes.
fucking Mario with the tonfa. Get out of here." From
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
he breaks the one dude's shin with the tonfa, actually. Like they show him hit the guy's shin and it bend backwards. It's pretty like
Yep. And then Danny
Yep.
just goes on a spree kung fuing all of them, and
Mhm.
jumps out into the store part of the jewelry store, just beating on the guy who owns the place as a bald pervert is staring at them, licking his lips.
face pressed against the glass,
Ooh.
just like,
Oh,
yeah.
that's what I like. Yep. And then after Bob collects the shit, he sees the pervert. He's like, "What the hell are you looking at?" "Oh, I just really liked the show."
And Bob goes, all right. Anyway, let's fucking. I know that I turned this man into a dog, but what you're doing there is real disturbing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
not wrong, is the thing.
So then they're like, "All right, you want to go to the antique store next to collect that?" Yeah. Just make sure not to pick up any like shit that we don't need." "Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah." So they drive by
And he
the
was,
antique store.
and Bob's
Go ahead.
already like really. I just wanted to say like,
Yeah.
Bob's really mad at Danny because he's like, even dogs know to protect their masters. Like, it shouldn't matter if the collar is off. You should listen to my commands, even though it's like, my brother in Christ, you trained the dog.
He
You
trained
you did.
Danny with a Pavlovian response of when he removes the collar, he attacks.
Yes. And then he's
Yes.
mad that Danny doesn't break that to protect him now that
Mm-hmm.
he's beaten that into him. So he's already like all beat to shit and he's mad and they're like, should you go home? And he's like, no, we gotta make our collections. So then they go to the antique store and
Mhm.
he's extra mad at Danny and goes like, look, I have a light here. You look at the light and I'll watch the red light. When the red light goes off, you've got to go in and rescue us, okay? And
He set up like
Danny's
a
constantly,
complicated remote controlled light.
yeah, I have no
What
idea.
even?
He's Bob Hoskins is a villain with presentation. he's doing a whole thing. It's like Danny's big entrance. It's like, okay, Danny, put on this top hat and have this cane, and then when the light comes out, you come tap dancing out. Like,
Yep. You tap dance in and then save the day. It'll be hilarious.
it'll be so good. Nobody will expect it. Yeah.
Why don't you just bring Danny with you? Oh, you know, that's not good for the show, right? Like, so then Danny's left in the basement with all these pianos, and he's constantly distracted by the piano. He's like, "Oh, piano! Oh shit, that a piano?"
Yeah, they show a scene of him like reading a picture book in his
Mhm.
cage that has piano, and he's like, "Oh, piano! I love piano," and he just keeps petting
Mhm.
it. So
So he wanders over to a piano and presses one of the keys, and it's horribly out of tune. So Morgan Freeman, who just happened to be there, shows up and is like, "Hey, I'm here to tune these pianos. You want to sit down and help me tune the piano?" Yes. Okay, Danny. Let's take 5 minutes of this film to tune this piano.
this film has some pacing issues.
But while Bob and his lackeys are in the next room getting their ass kicked the whole time, Danny gets distracted by this piano tuning. And then Morgan Freeman's like, "Hey, do you hear that noise? It's almost like there's a light going off or something. Do you hear that? Like a light? You know, the light that Bob set?"
And then he's like, "No, I don't remember that. Anyways, let's keep tuning this piano."
And then it clicks like, "Oh shit,
Oh,
Bob,
wait.
right."
Oh my god, I left the oven on.
and then Bob's in the other room, and you know what? He's perfectly fine. They
He's
kick
not
all
dead.
of their asses anyways.
Yeah, he's absolutely.
Bob not being dead is a common theme in this
Yeah,
movie.
he's definitely not dead, covered in blood, laying on the floor when Danny goes
Yep.
in, and he gets up
Yep.
and gets really mad at Danny.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh man. So then as he's leaving, I think that weird
Yep.
pervert that was at the jewelry store confronts him.
Yes.
And he's like, "Hey, Bob Hoskins, I got a proposition for you." "Yeah? Okay, we're gonna enter you into this fighting ring, and all you gotta do is show up and then do a QuickTime event. And if you do the QuickTime event correctly, we'll give you like 15,000 pounds or something."
Specifically a Mad Max fighting ring, because everybody in that fighting ring is in leather gimp suits and fishnet shirts,
in,
or
the horniest outfits.
one guy in literally chainmail shirt with like mohawks and leather gloves, leather fingerless
It's like they're at
gloves,
a blade rave or
holy shit.
something.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
It's a scene straight out of fucking Blade 2. So you get like this long introspective like 6-minute scene of Morgan Freeman gently being like,
So this is how you tune the piano. See, isn't that nice? Tap it a little harder. Oh, you're such a good boy, Danny. What a good dog. And then, like 2 minutes later, you're in fucking Blade 2 rave scene. He's like punching a guy in the throat as he vomits up blood.
It's just
And you're like,
whiplash.
and in the background you hear Bob Hoskins' voice being like, "Oh, you fucking cocks!" And you're like, what is this movie?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
5 distinct different styles going on at the same time.
So they pay Bob his 15,000 because Danny just
Mhm.
like mopes his way into the ring and like throat punches the guy and then mopes his way out of the ring
Yeah.
like a toddler.
Immediately murders him, and the guy's like, so next time, this is a betting fighting ring. If you can just like not insta one shot my dude as the champion, that would probably make people bet more. So yeah.
Uh-huh.
don't kill
And
so fast.
and on the drive home, Bob's like, you know what? That dream I had with the hula girls and everybody dying a horrible, horrible death. I think that was just like a metaphor. Have you heard of Freud? Freud is a person, and he goes on like
Fuck.
reading the Wikipedia article for Freud for like 4 minutes. And he's like, anyways, I think that relates to my dream. I think it means I'm going to make a bunch of money and retire. I'm going to retire. It's my day of retirement, everyone. My last day.
And then they hit the dog with a truck.
They sure do.
That's what makes us such a good team. The brains and the brawn. I'll tell you, this is going to be one lovely day.
Oh, Jesus, fuck! Does that count as the dog getting hit by a car?
Yes.
Everybody in this movie death flags at all times, and nobody dies.
I was gonna say they don't. That's the best part is that.
Yeah.
So they get hit by a semi, and then and they get like fucking destroyed by this semi. There's almost no way that anyone would survive this car accident. But to just make sure 1000% that you understand that everyone in this car is absolutely fucking dead, they like 5 gangsters roll out of the truck and a nearby car and pull out like AK-47s and M16s and just blow this car to fucking Swiss cheese. Like, they spend a good 30 seconds putting holes in this car. And you even see Bob Hoskins in the back, and he's like, kind of, I'm still kind of alive. And then it's like 5 bullets him, and he's like, like doing this big death thing. And Danny slinks away. And it's the jewelry store guy, not the pervert, but the one that was like, oh, I just had to stop you
the
from
one
taking
that
the
Bob
collar
beat
off.
up. Yeah.
The one that tried to kill Bob, and he gets him back, kind of thing. And then now Danny is free because Bob is dead.
Bob
obviously,
is absolutely,
obviously,
without a doubt, dead.
Like, he would have died 3 times over in this scene.
So then Danny goes back to the antique shop and passes out in front of Piano Man, Morgan Freeman.
Covered in blood.
And Morgan Freeman takes him back to his house, puts him in like children's pajamas with dinosaurs on them.
Yeah, and a cone so he won't lick.
And then tucks him into bed and gives him a little kiss on the forehead.
A ripe kiss.
Oh, Jesus, don't even get me started on that. And then, like, he wakes up 2 days later. He wakes up 2 days later, completely disoriented and scared. And then Morgan Freeman walks in with, like, milk and cookies.
Yes.
Like a grandma. And he's like, I thought you'd be hungry after 2 days of being passed out. I'm telling the audience this so they know how much time has passed.
Oh, man. This does a lot of telling the audience specific things.
Yeah. And then Danny's like under the bed, so he gives him the food, and Danny like reaches one hand out and then slides the thing under the bed like a fucking monster.
Yes. And
Yep.
Morgan Freeman knows that he's there because he's like, oh, now if I woke up in somebody's house, I'd be rather scared too. And where's the safest place in the whole room?
As he's
I know.
explaining the
Found
situation to
you
the
underneath
audience.
the bed. Yeah.
Yep.
He does this
Explaining
whole
the
little
scene.
talky thing.
Fuck.
I actually like
I-
that in a way though, because he treats
Yeah.
Danny like a child in a way. Like he kind of talks to him very, very reassuring. Morgan Freeman does a very good reassuring dad voice and stuff. Like he's very good as reassuring guy.
So then Morgan Freeman's adopted daughter comes
Mhm.
home, Victoria, and she is like a golden retriever. in
I was gonna say
human form.
she was way more dog than Jet Li was. That's what I thought the whole time. Like Morgan Freeman just adopts dog people, and he has like the poor beaten like pound dog and his golden retriever pup that he bought like as a pup. And it's just like, hey, you want to play? You want to play? I'm a good boy. Do you want to go outside? I have a piano. Do you want a piano? Do you know how to play the piano? Can you see the keys? There's the keys. If you hit the keys, then they're really good.
It plays music. Hey, I've been told that I talk a lot. Do I talk a lot? I think I talk too much. Hey, anyway, you want to play this piano? Fuck.
And then she sticks a piano beside the bed as he's laying under the bed.
Yeah, like
and
a
he reaches
Casio
out a hand and you hear
synthesizer.
dink and he goes
Ding, 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 ding. And then he
and
slides it
screeches
under
it
the bed.
underneath the bed again.
Like a boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I found
Sam
this
said you like
Casio
music.
keyboard at a
You know how
Goodwill.
to use it? See?
Fuck, I used to have a Casio like this, and I
Nice,
never
huh?
learned how to play.
Yeah. It was my dad's. He died before I was born, and then my mom gave it to me. But she died in a car accident, but not until after she
I'm
married
sorry?
Sam.
God, she's more of a dog than he is.
Am I talking too much? You know, because I do that sometimes. And
I
if you're
really
bored
like her
listening, and I
character.
just keep going on and on. You just tell me, okay? I'm gonna go help Sam with dinner.
Okay.
You can join us if you'd like, or you can eat under here. You know, it's just the food goes down easier if you eat it sitting up. You don't burp so much. My name's Victoria.
That Casio synthesizer is just... It doesn't come up again. I thought they would have used it more.
Well, he's hugging it at breakfast when he finally
he
comes
hugs
out
it
and
like a
stuff,
teddy bear.
and like
Yeah,
he
it's
hugs
true.
it like a teddy bear.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's a very
man.
scared little
This
puppy.
movie, Jet Li hugging a Casio keyboard like a teddy bear as he like pouts to breakfast is very good.
Because they go to breakfast and they start eating.
Yeah.
And then Victoria starts laughing, and then Jet Li starts laughing, and then Morgan Freeman starts laughing, and then they're all like,
we're
"We're
all
laughing. We're laughing!" And it's the exact scene from Pet Sematary 2.
It really is. Yeah.
It's the exact scene.
It just goes on really weird and long.
Great.
A duet.
So then now that we've gotten to a point where they like kind of know each other, we have to do the next best thing to get Jet Li away from fighting and rehabilitate him back into a normal home, which is to take him shopping.
Yes.
We have to go to the store with Jet Li and then teach him how to tell how melons are ripe or not. And this is where he learns bad things about the word ripe.
Ripe means sweet. Oh, when your daughter kissed me, it was sweet. So that means it was ripe.
You know what ripe means, don't you? No. Ripe means sweet, and sweet means good.
The kiss was ripe.
And Morgan
No,
Freeman
Jet
goes,
Li.
no,
No, Jet Li.
no,
No, that's
never,
creepy.
no, I'm gonna, Danny, bad, bet down, Danny, down.
And then he hits Danny with a newspaper.
No, bad Danny.
Yep.
That's, you don't
Oh,
don't
man.
talk like that. Bad Danny.
So then, what was it? Oh, he tells Danny to go take Victoria to school.
Yes, yeah.
And then pick her up after school. She's 18.
She's
so
18. I was gonna
she
say
needs to
that-
be led to school every day.
Yeah, because he's worried about crime. I don't know. It was
I don't know. He treats her like she's 10 or something. It's weird.
yes. Yeah.
But so then Danny shows up after school, which is like, hey, Danny, before we go home, you want to go do something else? But we were supposed to go home right away. No, that's cool. It's fine. Let's go get ice cream in the weirdest fucking cone you've ever seen.
I love these cones. I wish that I had them.
It's like the standard cone you can get anywhere for like, you know, in a huge stack of like 10 or 20 for $2.
Yeah, like the really, really shitty like dollar store
It's
kind
the
of
shitty
cones.
ones, but it's a double cone, so it's like split in the middle with 2 cones.
Yeah, it's like 2 tops to it, so you can put
It's
2
so
scoops on it
weird.
and still be 1 scoop. It is the wildest thing. It looks incredibly unbalanced and strange. It looks like a dick cone. That's what it looks like. It's got
Yeah,
like the 2 balls at
it's
the
just
top
so
and just
like absurd that it took me out of the film to be like, what the fuck is that cone?
like, where did they get that?
What?
I've
Why
never
didn't they
seen
just do a
anything like it.
normal cone for this scene?
There was
So I can
some
focus
intern
on
running
something.
somewhere that was like, they're like, "Fuck, we need cones. Go find some cones." And he ran out and got them, and they're like, "What the fuck did you fuck it, use them, whatever."
I don't
I
want to
don't
send him
know.
back. Money,
Yeah, I'm not gonna
time is
make
money.
him do it twice. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
we're losing light, baby. Let's go.
Oh man! And then Victoria teaches Danny how to read music,
Mhm.
so that he can play at Carnegie Hall later when he gets really good at playing the piano, which keeps coming up because Victoria has a piano recital coming up.
Yes.
So then Danny's so obsessed with the piano and the Casio that she decides to teach him how to read and how to play. So obviously, this is leading towards Danny being a musician in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
So he can play Carnegie Hall, which they've said multiple times about going to Carnegie Hall specifically.
But this whole section of the movie, there's like a good God, this is such a long portion.
It
Like,
keeps
it's like
going. Well, we're
40
not
it's
done
like
with
40
this
minutes,
yet.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, there's just 40 minutes of family shit. I think that it's decent family shit. I didn't mind it. Like normally family stuff is boring, and this is very there's not a lot happening here, but it does a lot of character stuff, right? Like you get
Mhm.
a good look at the family, and they're like, "Oh, Danny, you're part of our family too now." Like they have all these photos on the
Oh yeah,
wall, and
they
they talk about
deflate
like,
them real bad with that, huh? But
oh,
it
they
didn't
sure
happen.
do.
But
Yeah, they do a lot of death flagging and stuff. They've got all these photos on the wall, and it's like, oh, Victoria, this is where Victoria lost her dad, and then the mom died because of this, and like they explain like all the backstory of it. It's that Morgan Freeman's best friend died, and that was her dad, but
Mhm.
he really liked the guy's wife, so he married his wife and adopted the daughter. And the wife died in a car accident, and that was what blinded Morgan Freeman. By the way, he's also blind, thing that we
Of
didn't
course.
mention. And then, yeah, like so they kind of go through that whole thing. They just set up that, oh, Danny is part of the family now, and he's really defensive about his collar. And eventually, they end this whole section of the movie with this moment of her being like, well, you've let go of the rest of your life. Why don't you let me finally take off your collar, which is
Mhm.
when he would normally attack. And we were wondering, you said at the time, you're like, wait, are they
Like,
going to actually have him attack them? Like,
yeah,
it
I'm like,
almost
so
sets it up that
nothing's
way.
happened for so long, and then they're
And Bob
really
Hoskins is
tensing up this
obviously
moment. He's
extremely
dead.
dead.
Yeah,
He's
so like
absolutely dead.
there's nothing to push the movie forward at this point. So the
No.
only thing that could happen is she takes off the collar and he accidentally like goes into his kill mode and kills her or something. And then
Or
realizes he
hurts
needs
her
to
and
like
then runs away and goes back into crime
yeah, and
somehow. Or, do you
realizes like
know?
I can never live this life. I have to like something with that response. And instead, you know what happens? Fucking nothing.
Nothing at all. It doesn't do
Absolutely nothing happens.
nothing. No problem at all. So then, anyways, Danny's out getting groceries, and all of the henchmen and Bob Hoskins are all alive and
Yeah,
find him and
because
see him
not
and just
only is he
bump
getting
into him.
groceries, he's trying on funny hats
Yes.
specifically. And he
Yeah.
buys the
Yeah.
funniest hat, which is a Viking hat with like the braided hair tassels in the front.
It's a Viking hat done in Scottish plaid with
Yeah.
like hair tassels. It's the weirdest fucking hat.
And then
It's
as
amazing
he's
to see
leaving,
Jet
as
Li
he's
in
leaving
it.
the funny hat shop,
Yes.
this sounds like a shitpost.
It's
As Jet Li is leaving the
wild.
funny hat shop, he bumps into the very, very dead, like neck snapped in the car accident,
and
henchman.
then riddled with like 30 bullets.
Yeah, henchman who's like, "Oh, Danny, you're alive. I'm alive too. Neither of us died. Isn't that crazy?" Hey, did
Anyways,
you know Bob's
we're gonna
dead?
come take you home.
No, I lied. Bob's not dead at all. Isn't that crazy? You should come home and see your friend Bob.
And then we see Bob Hoskins, who has like a neck brace and
Yeah.
a cast on his arm, where like one of those cast braces too, where it's like there's like a wrapping around his waist and then like a stick for the arm to prop the arm up. And as he's having a conversation with Danny, he's like, "Oh yeah, Danny, I'm alive. It's been a tough month." Which is like a month. They recovered from this unbelievably horrific car accident and being riddled with bullets in a month. And then Bob Hoskins also then goes, "And you know, it's been a tough month, but I'm back and ready to roll, baby." And he like breaks his casts. And then, like right then. And he like pulls out a gun. He's like, "Let's fucking go."
I'm like, what?
He literally breaks his casts. They were all fine. And it was a month. We have like, there's montages of time passing, like multiple montages
like
of time
seasons
passing.
that pass.
Yes.
In between these. And then he's like,
I mean, like Jet Li's hair grows out and he like learns to love again and talk to people and he learns piano and they're like, "Yeah, it's been a month." And you're like, "What? Jesus. Okay, sure."
Well, anyways, let's go back to the fighting ring, Danny. You thought that was over 40 minutes ago, but no, we're back.
It just right turns immediately into this again, and we're like, "Oh, okay, I guess, sure."
Oh man, so he takes him back to the fighting ring, and Danny's like, "I don't want to hurt people anymore." What was that, you wanker? I don't want to hurt people anymore. You fucking bollocks, you piece of shit. What was that? I don't want to hurt people anymore. Just keep going back and forth for like another 5 minutes in front of this fighting ring.
What's wrong with you? I don't want to hurt people anymore.
Excuse me? Danny, that's what you do. You hurt people.
Not anymore.
What the hell's happened to you? Who's been filling your head with this crap, eh?
And then Bob's like, "Well, you're gonna have to fight now," and he pushes him into the pool.
Fight or you die.
Pool.
Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then I guess Danny's just like playing keep away with this like pervert from Mad Max, while the other pervert watches on from above, the bald pervert from before.
Yeah, you get a guy with face tattoos, a big spiked mohawk, fishnet shirt, fingerless leather gloves, camo pants, and combat boots.
Normal
because
stuff.
Of course you do.
Yep. Yeah. And Danny's just playing keep away and running away and trying not to fight him. And then what was it? Did they call more people in first, or no? I think he threw a weapon in.
First he throws in an axe. Bob Hoskins is like, "Oh, let me change it up then," and throws in an axe. And then Danny doesn't do anything with that. He does the typical Danny thing that it turns out that happens constantly in this movie, which is get his shirt slightly cut to show that he might get cut, but actually he won't be because he dodged slightly in time.
Every enemy in this video game is a shirt ripper. They just rip his shirt, and he's like, and then Danny looks down and he's like, "You ripped my shirt, you son of a bitch!"
Really close to cutting me. God damn it, that's sharp. Don't do that.
Yep. And then Danny like fends him off a little bit. So then the bald pervert is just like, "Weapons!" And everybody in the ring just starts tossing fucking weapons in, battle axes, nunchucks.
Yeah, after he throws in 3 other people first too.
And then throws
he's like, "I'm gonna change up the format," and
fucking A. And then it just keeps adding more and more enemies and NPCs to the fight. And it's just like, come on, man. This boss fight is bullshit.
They thrown in some great weapons too, like weird sledgehammers. There was like hammers with spikes on the tops of them. Like there was like medieval war hammers.
Medieval
they had
weaponry.
They had a battle axe with a skull in the middle of it. What
It's
are the
like whatever
weapons
props
zoom
they
in on?
found in the back of the lot that they were
So
working that day.
fucking
They're
good.
like, let's just wheel in all those medieval weapon props. Whatever. I don't fucking care.
Like, honestly, I think that was an inspired choice. I do think that was
Oh
really good. It
man,
was funny as
it's so
shit.
good. So then Danny is about to die by all four of these people just shit kicking him in a circle
Mhm.
multiple times as they're like underworld fighting and jumping around and like lifting him up by his feet and stuff. Like it makes
They
no
hold
sense.
him upside down with his by his ankles as three other people punch
It's
him like he's a slab of meat
vampire
in
fight or
Rocky.
something. Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
weird. So then he hulks out again and beats all their asses and breaks their arms and legs. And then he decides, I'm not actually gonna kill them. No
But it's a
more
fight to the
killing.
death. So
But it's
everybody's yelling and throwing things at him. And
throwing bottles and shit. And then Bob gets mad and pulls out his gun and just shoots the guy. He's like, God damn it, now I'm not gonna get paid. This sucks.
Yep. So he just starts shooting all the other fighters and he gets all pissed off. Which, okay. That seems unsporting, Bob.
Man, yeah. So then it hard cuts back to Morgan Freeman and Victoria just eating dinner and be like, oh, I can't believe Danny ran away. Why would our dog run away?
I can't believe our puppy ran away. Should we put up some posters? What do we show his collar? He didn't have any name tags on his collar.
Yeah, they didn't put his address on the collar. Like, they didn't even give him a
man.
chip yet. Like, man.
Yeah, you gotta chip your pets.
So then Danny confronts Bob about his mother because
Yes.
slowly remembering things in the Quiet Man video game from Square Enix cutscenes
Oh my God,
about his
yeah.
mother. That's like somebody killed his mother while he was watching from a closet, and he's sort of remembering, but not really who or what. So he asked Bob. He's like, "What happened to my mother?" Well, your mother was a call girl. All right, like you shouldn't forget about your mother. She was nothing. I saved you.
First, he says that he didn't know his mom.
Yeah, he's been lying the whole time, obviously. On a drive afterwards, after Danny's asking for, like, he doesn't want to kill anybody again anymore in the car, Bob's going off on another one of his fucking backseat car rants.
Dream sequences. Yeah.
About family. You know, it's really all about family. And his henchman in the front's like, oh yeah, family, like my brother. Bob's
Shut
like,
the
the
fuck
fuck
up,
up. I'm
you
the only one who
fucking
can monologue in this fucking car.
I'll cut your bollocks off and feed them to the pigs, I will.
Yeah, so then he starts going off about family. He's like, Daddy, just so you know, you should always do everything you can for family, no matter what. And Danny's like, everything I can for family? No matter what? That's right,
I should
Danny.
do anything
Family
you can
should
to
be
get back to your family.
You should get together to your family.
No matter
you have
what
to
it
do.
takes, even if you have to kill somebody. Like, for example, me, Bob Hoskins. If you killed me, Bob Hoskins, so you could go back to your family that we've been watching this whole movie, you could do that. That's a thing you could do. You could probably 100% do it. I'm just telling you this for no reason. Wait, Danny, why are you grabbing the wheel?
Danny, no.
Fuck!
Danny, no.
Danny, no. Bad dog, Danny. Danny.
You know, Danny, sometimes in families, you need a little tragedy just to bring everybody back together.
Absolutely, boss. You know, it's like me and my brother in Blackpool. We used to go down
Excuse
the beach.
me. Like, where's the man?
Shut the fuck up. I'm talking.
Day, boss.
Did I ask for a validation?
God
But
damn
I thought,
it.
you know, because
Will
my brother...
you shut your yap? Now I've lost the train of my thoughts. What was I saying?
Families.
Right, yeah.
All this should be together,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Families should be together.
no matter what.
So then Danny grabs the wheel and crashes their car and totally, definitely kills Bob Hoskins and all of his henchmen in the car again. And you see their necks snapped and flipped and everything.
They're in the front two seats and it like lands upside down, sliding on those front two seats. And you see their like mangled bodies. There's like a limp arm hanging out with like blood coming out of it from Bob Hoskins. And you're like, okay, so he's definitely 100% killed Bob Hoskins again now, right? Yes, obviously.
Yes.
Bob Hoskins is super fucking dead. Yeah, there's no question that you could misinterpret that. Anyway.
Anyways, so then we learn more about Danny's mom, and that Danny's
Mhm.
mom actually went to a school to learn piano. And he remembers more about what happens in his flashback cutscenes, in that it was actually Bob Hoskins creepily, like, rubbing up against his mom. She hit him with a pot, and then he shot her to death. And we also learned the reason why he took Danny in. It's because Danny ran out of the closet and kung fu'd his fucking henchman into the wall from 30 feet away.
9-year-old Danny's power was fucking immeasurable. This 9-year-old comes out and kung fu's this man to shit.
Holy shit.
Oh
man.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman has this whole thing where he knows all piano players because of his magic piano connections. And so
he
Danny's
uses his
like, "Oh,
piano knowledge.
my mom is a piano player." And he goes, "Oh, I know that room. I know the room from your flashbacks. Here, I'll go and take you there."
Victoria's describing a room from a photo that Danny got as a collectible item in the previous level.
Yes.
And she's like, there's this piano and
Did he
this
check out the
piano,
ball?
and then there's 2 more pianos next to each other near a stained glass window. What type of pianos? Oh, this specific type. I know that room. Do you know that room?
His
Morgan
mystic
Freeman?
piano knowledge comes into play.
Yeah, but that they find out, Bob Hoskins killed his mother, obviously.
Yes.
Obviously. So that's irrelevant because Bob's fucking dead. Who cares, right? None of this is important.
He's already got his revenge. He killed Bob Hoskins, as it turns out.
So then we hard cut to Bob Hoskins in a chair rotating around as lightning strikes. He's like, I'm back.
I'm back, baby. You can't kill me. I'm
Bob Hoskins.
You can't kill the boogeyman.
This is almost a Pet Sematary movie. It really is.
He is unfucking killable. It's amazing.
I hate when video games reuse boss fights.
I have no idea how they possibly justified that Bob Hoskins just walks back out of that car wreck again.
So then he drives up with all of his henchmen to Danny's new house. As Danny and Victoria are getting Morgan Freeman to try and hide in a closet, basically.
Yeah, he hides in the
which
closet.
is reminiscent
He's like,
of what happened to Danny in the closet when his mom got shot. Do you get that?
Yes,
Do you get
they
it?
very, very much
get it?
play that up. Oh my god.
Fuck. Oh man. And then all the henchmen come in video game fashion in a line as Danny beats them up one by one until their health bars go down. And then the boss shows up, and it's Bald Man who was just sitting there watching Danny at the fighting ring, who looks way out of
Powder.
place. Yeah,
Powder comes in from with a chair.
Yeah, it's like a bleached white trench coat, bald white guy. And he shows up with a machete and just starts attacking Danny in the room. And Danny jumps out a window.
Shirt again. How would you know that Danny's in trouble?
He rips his shirt. And then Danny jumps out the window and starts climbing along a electrical wire. So then Bald Powder Man throws his machete underneath Danny.
Which chops the wire above Danny.
Which then hard cuts to chopping the wire above him. So it arcs down and up.
Yeah.
It's like a boomerang machete. It has mesh.
Well, this man is
powers.
actually an Australian because he's from the Mad Max fighting ring, you see. And that was not a machete, it was a boomerang.
I almost feel like he threw a
didn't
Krull
realize
weapon. And just, Krull came back.
Goddamn.
How did the glaive come in? So then Danny he George of the Jungle swings into a window where a woman is showering in her bathroom, and he's like, oh shit, I should be quiet, I don't want to interrupt, this is fucking weird. And as he goes to reach towards the door, the Bald Man from the building over punches through the door.
Through this solid door, knowing that he was on the other side right at that moment, reaching for the doorknob, and hits him in the fucking head.
And then they have this extended fight scene in this bathroom while this woman's covering herself with her shower curtain, being like, what the fuck is happening?
Screaming at the top of her lungs, yeah.
And most of the fight scene is in a 5 foot wide little cubby where the toilet.
No,
it might be
it's
smaller than that.
Yeah,
a little cubby where the toilet was.
Doing 1-inch punches at each other in this tiny little tight enclosed space where they like, I forget how they get trapped in there, but they get trapped in this tiny little like, they have to go like
whenever somebody
sideways
like
to shuffle
tries
past each other.
Yeah, whenever one of them tries to get out, the other one like punches them back in, basically, and they just keep doing
Yes.
it over and over. It's an extended fucking QuickTime event.
It's amazing how tight
It's
this
so
space
good.
is, though.
I
Like they can
cannot point
barely
out.
squeeze in like shoulder width, so they have to go in sideways, and they're just like doing like little punches at each other.
It's so
really
dumb,
good.
but I have to point out, like, the choreography in this movie is absurdly good.
It's
All the fight
yeah,
scenes look
no,
good.
it's-
They're just stupid as hell.
all this it's the same as the rest of the movie too, because like all of the plot is stupid as hell. The actual character, like the dialogue, is very, very, very dumb. But the thing is that Morgan Freeman plays it really straight and is incredibly reassuring and well done as the dad figure. Like Bob Hoskins is this awesome fucking villain for no reason whatsoever. He just plays it so goddamn hard. Like they all go so hard for it, even though it's all the stupidest setup, and they're all really good actors. God, I forget the name of the woman that's Victoria.
Is
It's like
the
Karen Conroy.
the character, but I don't remember the actress. Yeah, I should.
Yeah, she's somebody that's actually fairly well known. Also,
they should have put her on the poster. That's the problem.
She should have been, but she was really good too. Like basically, all of the actors are very good in this. Yeah, Carrie Condon, that's who it is.
Okay, she was really good.
Yeah, she was fantastic. She's in a ton of stuff, actually, as it turns out. But yeah, she she's in a bunch of these different things, and she's really good in this. And it's all the stupidest stuff, but it's all done by very talented people, so it kind of just works. Like all the action choreography, they have who was the action choreographer for this too? Because it was somebody that was.
Oh, I don't remember.
God, I saw it at the end, and I was like, oh, okay, like. I need to look at it. There was a thing though that was like really interesting, and I was like, yeah, like there's a ton of obvious talent behind this, and it's just, but why? Like in the stupidest fucking movie and the stupidest plot, dumbest setup.
That's exactly why. Yeah,
it just has so much talent behind it. Yeah, all of the fight scenes are really well done. Like the stunts are great. They don't do any of the quick cut like. He throws a punch and they cut away from it. It's well choreographed and done. Like it's really nice. So yeah, just because I went and looked it up, it's Wu Ping Yin. I hope that I'm saying that right. But he's also, like, as an example, here's some of his work. He's the fight choreographer on Kill Bill 2. He was a martial arts advisor for Kill Bill 1. He was the kung fu choreographer for The Matrix. He was the action choreographer for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like,
that all makes
somebody
sense.
with some real fucking talent. He did a bunch of the stunts for Kung Fu Hustle. He's the fight choreographer for Fearless. Like, he's well regarded and like works a lot with people like Jet Li and other really good,
like we mentioned earlier,
actual
Chow Yun
martial
Fat.
artists.
Yeah.
Those
people.
Like,
that makes total sense to me.
Yeah. Very much like that style. So it's really, really well done action choreography. It's just in service of the goofiest fucking shit. Same with the acting, right? Like it's all good acting. It's just done in service of like fucking wild shit at every moment.
So Danny defeats the boss in the white trench coat, the bald white man. Well, actually, because he dropped him on accident. He was trying to save his life, really.
Yes.
But his shirt ripped.
The shirt ripper has the ultimate irony.
Yep, because the shirt ripper's shirt ripped. While he was hanging out a window, and Danny was trying to pull him back in. And then he falls on Bob Hoskins' car, definitely killing him and everyone inside again.
I love too that Bob Hoskins, they have a really stupid joke here too, where Bob Hoskins has the car pull in with his henchman and he goes, okay, park it right here. We don't want this car to get wrecked, do we? Like all the others.
Like all the
this
other
is
ones.
probably the safest spot. And then literally 5 seconds later, a man through the roof.
Yep. So then Bob comes out Cox is gone. He's like, I gotta do all this shit by myself, I guess. And we're like, whoa, Bob Hoskins getting in a kung fu fight. This whips.
And he does. He
does.
does a very brief kung fu versus
Jet
Jet
Li.
Li.
Yeah.
It's
Man.
yeah.
Man. So then Jet Li is standing there, and Bob's like, looks like I'm gonna have to take you out like a bad dog. Yes, you are. You're a dog, Danny.
Danny, you're a dog.
Puppy. A little bark.
Just bark. You're just a puppy, Danny. Come with
And he's
me,
like,
Danny.
That's what I would say. Except I love you. And he throws his gun on the ground.
Yeah, you gotta come back with me, Danny.
He's like,
please.
come on, Danny.
Come here.
Come on, boy.
Be a
Come
good
on, boy.
I got some treaties here in my pocket. And pulls him over. He's like, yeah, I should shoot you, but I just love you. I love my puppy too much.
Yep. So then Danny like slowly walks over like Air Bud, and and Bob Hoskins gives him a hug, and he's like, except I won't.
Yeah, he gets ready to put a collar on him, and Danny's like, I
am
go
home
back
already.
to the old me.
I don't need to go back to your home. I am home. And then he kung fu's him. Ha kung fu. Get kung fu, Bob Hoskins.
And Bob Hoskins and Jet Li do brief kung fu.
Yep.
Very brief, because Jet Li, I don't think Bob Hoskins had it in him to do anything with Jet Li for too long.
And then Victoria and Morgan Freeman are in their closet, and they're like, no, we have to stop Danny before he kills someone. He's never killed anyone before.
Definitely not like 12 people in this scene alone.
In this one scene where he's killing all these people. And they're like, yeah, we have to stop him. So they get out. They're like, Danny, don't you kill Bob Hoskins. Don't do it. And Bob's like, kill me, you fucking piece of shit, you boss.
Give in to your feelings.
Danny, you'll never be anything more than a dog. You remember your mom? Remember how I killed her?
Yeah, does that whole stupid thing.
And then as Danny's about to punch him with his punch of death.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman. Oh my god, it's Morgan Freeman with a fucking flower pot from the outside. Oh my god, he's coming into the ring.
Yep. And Morgan Freeman hits him with a pot and knocks him out. Yeah. He's like, that guy says some shit, huh?
That man could talk some serious shit.
They finally made Morgan Freeman say a bad word. The whole time, Bob Hoskins is just fucking cocks, cunts, blah, just screaming and swearing in the most British way possible.
So is Bob Hoskins dead, or did he get arrested? Like, what happened?
Yes.
I don't... Is he just gone now?
Bob Hoskins is fucking Wolverine. You can't kill him. Like, there's no way.
We hard cut to Carnegie Hall. And Danny and Morgan Freeman are sitting in the crowd wearing tuxedos now. And then Morgan Freeman's like, hey, you like that around your neck? And it cuts, and it's because he has a tuxedo and a tie. A bow tie.
Nice bow
it's
tie,
not a collar anymore. It's a bow tie. And we're like, oh, I thought
it's
Danny
like
was
a metaphor
play.
of Danny.
Yeah, and it's Victoria's recital, and she's playing the music of Danny's mother, Mozart, that she also played on the piano. And Danny looks at her playing the piano, and she looks back, and Danny looks back, and then it's actually his mom playing the piano, and Danny lets out a single tear.
And he gets so excited that his tail just starts wiggling, and they're like, "No, Danny, no, don't!" Oh, he piddled on the floor. He's too excited.
Yeah, but like hard cuts to like edgy 2000s fucking electronic music again. Was that single tear goes down his eye?
Immediately back into Blade 2 music.
Fucking A. What a movie.
Yeah.
What a movie. This is a movie of a certain time period.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's equal parts like Underworld and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Like it's got like that Snatch
Saints a bit too. Like
yes, yeah, but like that very style, because those are all very
style,
similar. Yeah. Yes, it's got like the early 2000s like British crime thing going on, while
Yes.
also having like the early 2000s edgy kung fu Jet Li thing. Like it's very much like The One and all that, where everything's like shot very dark, right? All of the kung fu
Mhm.
stuff, it's all washed out and dark, and it's all got like that boom, 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 like pulsing beats for everything. And God, it's just, yep,
It's a movie.
it's certainly of a time.
So
But
the only thing I'm
it works
confused
out because
about,
it's got such weirdness.
yeah, the one thing I'm confused about though, so Scooby-Doo Monster
Mhm.
Unleashed, the second one,
Yes, yeah.
Scooby-Doo villains, yada yada, whatever, Velma. The second movie is Unleashed with Kate Micucci, where Kate
Yeah.
Micucci uses horoscopes and astrology with a supermoon
To fuck
to
her
like
pets.
date her
Yes.
pets.
Mhm.
And then this one, Danny learns how to play piano. I don't
Yeah.
know. This trilogy is very confusing.
Well, we've got to wait for the fourth movie where Jet Li fights Scrappy Doo, because they've got to bring him back from the first Scooby Doo movie. It's like a Fast and the Furious thing. So you thought Scrappy was dead, but like in Tokyo Drift, you know, like how Han dies. Spoiler alert for Fast and the Furious. But
Wait,
like,
what?
But then he's like gonna come back, and so like they're gonna bring Scrappy back, and you're gonna have the
Han
Danny
Solo
versus
dies
Scrappy.
in Fast and the Furious?
Yeah, it's really weird.
Wow, what? Holy shit. I didn't know that.
Like if I remember correctly, I think that Dom gets like a lightsaber and says to Han, "It's about family," and then runs him through and throws him off
Runs
the
him
bridge.
through.
Yeah.
No, that
I
makes
think
sense.
that's
I
what happened.
remember
And then but he did it from a car, right? Like he was leaning out of the
it was
car
a
and
drive-by
jousted
with a
him. Yeah, he like
lightsaber,
yeah, he drive-by jousted him.
Yeah.
And then threw him off that
I
bridge.
remember that scene, yeah.
Yeah.
So the message of Jet Li's Unleashed, the unrated cut, is that Jet Li, Danny, the dog, his life was saved by music. Somehow.
Yeah. I guess.
What?
I think so.
I
Yeah,
don't
sure.
know how that wraps up the story, but
So what the hell
Sure.
happened to second villain man that was that was fighting Bob Hoskins?
oh, that guy just pissed off.
Because he just
What happened?
vanished.
What happened to the
Like,
bald
drive a
guy that was a pervert
gangster
and
just-
running the
yeah.
fighting ring? No, he fucked off.
He just has a fighting ring still. I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever.
I love that the guy that Bob Hoskins gets set up as having like this big rival, and I was almost
that
wondering
literally
if they would
ran
have,
him over with a semi truck.
and then like shot the car up and everything, and they don't do any. The first thing that he does when he comes back to life, when his soul reattaches to his obvious corpse, and he walks out of the wreckage, is he goes, "I should get Danny and go back to that fight ring."
I should do that thing I was doing before and never
I
ever
don't-
move
yeah,
forward in my
you know,
life.
I know that other guy shot me up, but let's just let bygones be bygones. Criminals, you know, sometimes you just gotta let things be water under the bridge. As we all know, criminals are constantly people that are well known for forgiving and forgetting and never holding grudges and making sure that, you
Mhm.
know, sometimes you just have to move on.
Anyways,
It's fucking weird. Fucking weird movie.
yeah. Wow. We should rate
Let's
the
rate
dogs.
the dogs.
So Danny the dog, our main hero, Jet Li,
Uh-huh.
really loves to play the piano. Can lap up a soup like a good boy.
Oh yeah, he does a very good lapping of the soup, yes.
Yeah.
He's very
doesn't-
cute in little costumes. Like I liked his little
Mhm,
Scottish
mhm.
tartan that he wears. Yeah.
Carries around his favorite Casio keyboard everywhere.
Mhm.
Drags it around. What a good
And
boy.
he's got his good toys, yeah.
I would give Danny the dog like a 13 out of 10. That is a good dog.
I mean, you know he's a good dog because he gets like 4 or 5 pets in there, and one of them at
Gets
least
treats
is
too.
ripe.
Yeah, he gets a kiss from Victoria. Victoria's the other dog. Victoria is a golden retriever in a human costume.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's, at any moment, I was waiting for her to unzip her skin like she was from Cats and just go like
Fuck.
bork, bork.
Victoria is
man.
also a 13 out of 10. That is a good dog.
I really liked her character. I kind of liked a lot of the characters in this. They were
Yeah.
they're all so ridiculous, but they all have a lot of fun.
Man, yeah. All right, that's this episode, I guess.
I feel like I would recommend this movie to a certain group of people. It's not good, but it's competently done for being what it is.
That makes sense. So, that's it for this episode. Thank you for listening, everybody. This is, again, Rough Cuts. You can follow us on Twitter at Rough Cuts Cast. Also, you can check out our Patreon, which we would greatly appreciate. If you help, we rent these movies. We spend money on this. There's production involved.
For some reason, somehow, we spend a lot of money on these fucking movies.
Yep. So anything that can help cover those costs, appreciated. You can also email us at roughcutscast@gmail.com. I think that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm just gonna go and I got a little bit of work to do. I got this new job. I had to keep going out and reattaching Bob Hoskins' soul to his body. And for some reason, he's fucking dead again. So I was like, it's a full-time gig as it turns out. So I gotta go down there and, they called me in. It's just a busy week.
Yeah. It sucks too, man. There's not enough breaks in that job. Ugh.
No.
Unless it's Bob Hoskins.
There's no breaks in the car. Every car is broke. God.
All right,
anyway,
see you next time.
We're done. Bye. I think that we should do the second Unleashed. I wouldn't mind that.
That would fit.
Yeah, no, like I wouldn't mind doing Unleashed into Unleashed.
Yeah, we should do that then.
My whole life ruined by dogs.